She goes on in that talk to talk about the personality self and how that's made up of the lower bodies that are new to us each lifetime. For as we know from her teachings, it is our soul and the higher bodies above that that goes on between lifetime to lifetime. But each time we come into incarnation, we get a new physical body, etheric, astral, and mental. And that's what makes up our personality self or ego. And it's this part of us that can get in our way, so to speak, and can sometimes make us feel more important than other people, that we're somehow better than them, or we can feel less than others when we compare ourselves. And she said, we must not feel deflated or lower because we are part human, any more than we must feel superior or elated because we're part divine. We've only one thing to be, and that is humble, because we are unfinished. Well, this made me realize that one needs to sort of have a healthy ego in order to be in balance and allow our soul selves to shine through. If one has an overinflated ego, we do tend to think that we are greater than others, more advanced perhaps, or better. Yet if you have an underinflated ego, you just sometimes feel like you're not worthy of anything, or that you take the blame for things that you didn't even cause, and you tend to put yourself down. And I found this slide on the internet, and I just love it because to me it really helped me to see what our egos can be like. Of course, on the right, it's the proper inflation, where we want to be right in the middle. But then you have the underinflated and overinflated, and as the tires don't wear well when they're like that, we don't work so well either when we're not in that proper balance. And this is something that I've really been struggling with. Prior to hearing Flower's talk, I was speaking with somebody who's been helping me to work on some of my issues, and she told me that I needed to have a stronger ego. And when she said that, I immediately bristled, and I thought, wait, isn't that a bad thing? I don't want to have a strong ego. But then in talking about it and thinking about it, I began to realize that what she was telling me is having that underinflated ego, we're not able to set good boundaries. Oftentimes, it's harder to have that connection with your soul because you're just focused on all the things that you aren't doing right, or having that poor self-esteem. And somewhere in the course of my lifetime, I've gotten that message that it wasn't good to have a strong ego, but I'm not really sure where that came from, because when you think of it, again, in terms of being more like a healthy ego, that does help us to allow more of our soul self to come through.